1. Giba, the equine specter of Mino. The Giba stands out as a peculiar and menacing presence in the rich tapestry of Japanese folklore, where each creature has a tale steeped in regional tradition and supernatural intrigue. Today, we delve into the legend of the Giba, a phantom blamed for the sudden and mysterious deaths of horses in the Mino region, now Gifu Prefecture in Japan. The Giba, as described in the Shozan Jomon Kishu, a collection of strange and supernatural tales, is considered a type of demon that enters and exits a horse's body, causing its rapid demise. This creature is particularly associated with the old provinces of Owari and Mino, where the sudden death of a horse, known locally as Giba, was often attributed to this spectral entity. According to the text, authored by the Owari clansman Yoshi Shozan, an intriguing account involves his retainer Yoshimatsu, a peasant from Tsuno village in Mino's Mungi district. From a young age, Yoshimatsu worked with horses and became well versed in their ailments, including those caused by the Giba, which he encountered twice. The story unfolds with a rumor among the people of Omi province, Higashimachi and Otsu, where it was believed that a deceased daughter from Eta tribe transformed into a Giba after her death. This spectral woman was said to ride a small golden horse resembling a jewel beetle, dressed in scarlet clothes and adorned with golden ornaments. Yoshimatsu recounts a chilling encounter where this figure, like a kite fluttering down from the sky, would approach a horseman. As the phantom neared, the horse would start neighing unnaturally. The small horse ridden by the Giba would then place its front hooves in the horse's mouth and its back hooves around the horse's ears, tightly hugging the horse's face. After a sinister smile, the Giba would vanish, leaving the horse to circle thrice to the right before collapsing dead. For those unaware of how to deal with such an encounter, losing their horse was inevitable. However, knowledgeable horsemen would wear their coats without belts, ready to act swiftly. When the Giba attached itself to a horse's neck, they would drape the right sleeve of their coat over the horse, leaving the left sleeve attached to the bridle. They would then forcefully turn the horse's head to the left and pen a needle on the spine above the tail to thwart the Giba's attack, thus saving the horse from certain death. Shozan also documents other instances where horses gathered for cauterization mysteriously died, attributed to the Giba's curse, alongside narratives from different locals, painting a broad and ominous picture of this feared yokai. The legend of the Giba serves as a haunting reminder of the vulnerabilities that those dependent on their livestock face and the measures they would take to protect them. It highlights the blend of fear, folklore, and the lengths to which people would go to safeguard their vital companions in the mysterious, often unforgiving world of Japanese mythology. 2. Hinezumi, the mythical fire rat of Japanese lore. Dive into the mystical world of Japanese folklore with the legend of the Hinezumi, a mythical creature said to inhabit the realms of fire. This creature, known as a fire rat, bridges the gap between myth and material culture, with its extraordinary attributes and its role in one of Japan's oldest and most famous tales, the tale of the bamboo cutter. The concept of the Hinezumi originated from ancient China and was transmitted to Japan, where it became embedded in cultural texts and folklore. References to the Hinezumi, also known as kasu, appear as early as the Heian period in the Wamyo Buijusho, illustrating its long-standing presence in Japanese lore. According to the Wakan Sansai-ze, which draws from the Chinese Sojinki, the fire rat is said to reside in the fiery realms of the West and the South Seas, specifically in Hinoshima. In these regions, wildfires that sprout in the spring and summer and disappear by fall and winter, are believed to be the breeding grounds of the Hinezumi. The creature itself is described as large, and its fur is used to weave a fabric known as kakanfu, a fire-resistant cloth that miraculously turns white and clean when burned. This fabric made its way into the annals of Chinese history, notably during the reigns of the Wei and Ming emperors. Despite initial skepticism from Emperor Wen of Wei, who refuted the existence of such a fabric that could withstand fire without losing its life force, envoys from the western regions later presented Emperor Ming with a robe made of kakanfu. This contradicted Wen's beliefs and led to a significant embarrassment when the inscriptions had to be altered. In Japan, the Hinezumi is famously featured in The Tale of the Bamboo Cutter, where the elusive fire rat's fur robe becomes an object of quests. Kaguya Hime, the Moon Princess, sets her suitors impossible tasks to prove their worth, one of which is to procure the legendary robe made from the fire rat's fur. The tale humorously concludes with the suitor, the right minister Abeno Miyushi, being tricked into buying a fake robe that burns to ashes. The story of the Hinezumi only enriches the tapestry of mythical creatures in Japanese folklore, but also serves as a metaphor for the unattainable and the fantastical, questioning the boundaries between reality and the supernatural. It reminds us of the power of myths to define cultural values and challenge the perceptions of the possible. 3. Orino, the legend of the serpent woman of Oritoge Pass. Deep in the mountains that stretch between Niigata and Yamagata prefectures, the haunting tale of Orino weaves through the mist and the pines of Oritoge Pass. This is a story of transformation, retribution, and ultimately redemption. Encapsulated within the tragic figure of Orino, a woman who crossed the forbidden and paid an unimaginable price. Once upon a time, in the village of Sekikawa, there lived a charcoal burner named Chuzo, known for his hard work and deep knowledge of the forests. Chuzo one day encountered a massive serpent during his work. With quick thinking and a steady hand, he slew the beast, turning its flesh into a bounty of misa-preserved meat. Chuzo warned his family never to look inside the barrel where he stored the serpent meat, especially not until 3 years had passed. However, curiosity and fate conspired against Orino, Chuzo's wife, who one day, in her husband's absence, opened the barrel and tasted the forbidden meat. The delicacy was irresistible, and soon she found herself consuming it all. As the last morsel was swallowed, a burning thirst, unlike any other, overcame Orino. She rushed to the nearby Onagawa stream, desperate for relief. There, as she bent down to drink, her reflection in the water morphed before her eyes into that of a serpent. Realizing her fate was sealed, Orino transformed completely into a giant snake and vanished into the river's depths. Years passed, and the legend of Orino faded into a whisper, until one late summer evening, when a blind Biwa minstrel named Teranoichi, known for his celestial music, was returning home via the Oritoge Pass. As night fell, he settled by a shrine to play his biwa, hoping to dispel the loneliness of the road with music. From the shadows emerged a woman, drawn by the soulful strumming of the biwa. She praised Teranoichi's music and requested more songs. As they conversed, she confided in him her true nature as the transformed Orino. She revealed her plan to flood the valley of Oguni to create a new dwelling for herself, urging Kuranoichi to leave before it was too late. Instead of fleeing, Kuranoichi chose to save the villagers. He traveled overnight to inform the village headman, Watanabe Sanzaemon, of the impending disaster. With his final breath, Kuranoiji passed away, having relayed his encounter. The villagers, moved by his sacrifice, gathered all the iron they could find and forged it into stakes, which they drove into the ground around Oritoge Pass. After 7 days and nights of torment, the serpent perished, and the village was saved. In honor of Kuranoichi's heroism, the villagers enshrined him at the Okura Jinja Shrine, where his biwa was kept as a sacred relic. They also established a shrine for Orino to appease her spirit, ensuring peace for Oritoge Pass. The tale of Orino serves as a poignant reminder of the thin line between the human and the supernatural, illustrating how one act of defiance against the natural order can echo through generations. Even today, as travelers wander through Oritoge Pass, they speak softly, respectful of the spirits that linger in the shadows of the trees. 4. Omaku, the Phantom of Dolno. In the mist-shrouded landscape of Iwate Prefecture, particularly in the town of Dolno, there lurks a mysterious phenomenon known as Omaku. This spectral manifestation, also referred to locally as Oneki, represents the visible form of thoughts and emotions of both the living and the dead. Today, we delve into the haunting experiences tied to this eerie occurrence. The story begins with Fukumatsu, a resident of Tsuchibuchi village in the Kamihe district, who, during his time in the Imperial Guard, shared his barracks with a fellow villager, a certain Jintaro, known for his peculiar talent of standing upside down. One summer morning, as the wake-up bugle sounded at 6, Jintaro performed his usual handstand on a pedestal. However, this time he fell and was knocked unconscious, remaining in that state until the late afternoon. Jintaro later recounted a bizarre experience during his unconsciousness. While inverted, he felt an overwhelming urge to visit his hometown. Struggling with the frustration of being unable to move as quickly as he wished, he envisioned himself soaring back to his village. He flew above the pass, seeing his wife and sister-in-law washing their feet in a creek near his home. Upon entering his house, Jintaro found himself sitting next to the hearth, where his mother, smiling, smoked a long pipe. Despite the warm reception, there was an unsettling lack of celebration for his return, prompting him to think he should return to the barracks of the Imperial Guard. No sooner had he made this decision than he found himself back in his squad room, waking up to the smell of medicine, surrounded by concerned medics and comrades. Haunted by this vivid journey between his hometown and the barracks, Jintaro speculated whether he had experienced an omaku, a spiritual visitation or astral projection. He wrote to his family detailing the incident. In a twist of fate, a letter from his family crossed paths with his own. They recounted that on that very day, they saw Jintaro, in his white uniform, rush into the house and sit by his mother, only to vanish moments later. The family was distraught, fearing that some misfortune had befallen him. The narrative of omaku doesn't end here. In another instance, a tragic event struck Tsuchibuchi village during someone Sasaki's childhood. The Koganji temple caught fire, and a local carpenter named Keijiro was tasked with the reconstruction. During a lunch break, a beautiful young girl, the daughter of Keijiro's neighbor, suddenly appeared among the workers. This girl was supposed to be bedridden with typhoid fever, and her unexpected presence was a chilling omen. True to the villagers' fears, she passed away the following day. These omaku stories serve as a window into the cultural psyche of Dolno, where the thin veil between the physical and spiritual world is a part of daily life. The tales not only reflect the deep-seated beliefs in spirits and their manifestations, but also capture the profound connections people feel with their community, even in moments of separation or crisis. As we explore these haunting accounts, we are reminded of the complex tapestry of human emotions and the mysterious ways they manifest, challenging our understanding of reality and the supernatural. 5. The tragic tale of Isora, the sea goddess of misfortune. Nestled between the mystical realms of land and sea, the story of Isora, a sea goddess, adorned with shells and sea creatures, unfolds in the ancient texts of the Taiheiki and the enchanting pages of Ueda Akinari's Ugetsu Monogatari. This tale from Iwate Prefecture, Tono region, echoes the somber notes of a love marred by tragedy and a life engulfed by the sea's eternal embrace. Isora, often shamed by her grotesque appearance, remained hidden beneath the ocean's surface. However, her story took a dramatic turn when she reincarnated as a beautiful woman in Kayanokori of Kibi province, where fate intertwined her life with that of Izawa Shodayu, a descendant of a faithful servant to the Akamatsu clan in Harima. Shodayu's family, once warriors, had settled into a peaceful, agrarian life over generations. However, his son, Shotaro, strayed from the virtuous path laid by his ancestors. Shotaro, a notorious libertine, cared little for his family's legacy or the labor that sustained them. Desperate to steer him back, his parents arranged his marriage to Isora, a woman of unparalleled beauty, who was the priest's daughter at Kibitsu Jinja Shrine. They hoped her presence would anchor his wayward spirit. Before the wedding, a ritual to divine the union's fortuity was performed at the shrine. In this sacred ceremony, the sounds emanating from a boiling kettle would predict the couple's future happiness. Silence during this ritual suggested an ominous future, yet the match proceeded, driven by familial obligations and social expectations. Isora, embodying diligence and grace, devoted herself to her new family. Her tireless work and compassion briefly mended Shotaro's ways, and peace seemed to return to the Izawa household. However, Shotaro's inherent nature proved indomitable. He soon fell for Sode, a courtesan from Tomonomura village, purchasing her freedom and setting her up in a residence nearby. Distraught yet unwavering, Isora continued to serve her husband loyally, even aiding Sode out of a profound sense of duty and understanding. Shotaro, feigning reform, manipulated Isora's devotion to planning an elopement with Sode to Kyoto. Isora, unknowingly financing her own betrayal, sold her belongings and secured funds under the pretense of aiding her husband. When she learned of their flight, Isora was consumed by despair and illness. As her health declined, the pain of betrayal deepened her love, turning into a haunting vendetta. Meanwhile, Shotaro and Sode, residing under the care of Sode's cousin in Harima province, faced their own downfall. Sode, struck by a mysterious illness, perished within a week. Believed to be cursed by Isora's vengeful spirit, back in Kibe, Isora's condition worsened. In a final confrontation at a decrepit estate, where Shotaro sought refuge, Isora, ghostly pale and fierce, cursed him, causing him to faint. Upon awakening, Shotaro found himself at a tomb, a chilling end to his treachery. Shotaro's disappearance remained a mystery, his fate sealed by Isora's curse, which resonated through the valleys and villages, a somber reminder of the spiritual powers that govern mortal actions and the deep scars left by betrayal. As the tale of Isora spread, it served not only as a narrative of supernatural retribution, but also as a testament to the enduring human emotions of love, betrayal, and revenge, woven into the fabric of Tono's cultural heritage. 6. The Fiery Tale of Kyohime, a legend of Dojoji Temple. Nestled in the verdant landscapes of Wakayama Prefecture, the ancient Dojoji Temple holds within its walls a story of passion, transformation, and vengeance. This is the tale of Kyohime, a woman whose love turned into a destructive force that would forever mark the annals of Japanese folklore. Kyohime was the daughter of the wealthy estate manager Masago no Shoji in Kishukumano. Her beauty was matched only by her fervor, which was ignited the day Anjin, a handsome monk from Oshu Shiragawa, sought lodging during his pilgrimage to Kumano. Smitten by the monk's serene demeanor and comely appearance, Kyohime fell deeply in love. Despite her fervent advances, Anjin was troubled by the moral conflict between his spiritual duties and Kyohime's affections. Seeking to avoid temptation, he promised to return to her after his pilgrimage, a promise made with the hidden intention never to come back. Realizing she was deceived as Anjin fled without a word, Kyohime's love morphed into a fiery wrath that spurred her to pursue him relentlessly. Her chase led her to the banks of the Hidakagawa River, where Anjin, seeing no other escape, sought refuge by crossing the river, something Kyohime could not do. In her desperation, Kyohime transformed into a massive serpent. Driven by her unyielding desire and rage, she crossed the river and continued her pursuit to Dojoji Temple, where Anjin had hidden himself inside the temple's sizable ceremonial bell. Unyielding and engulfed in her serpentine form, Kyohime located the bell under which Anjin was hiding. Coiling her new monstrous body around the bell, she unleashed a hellish inferno that melted the bell and ultimately killed the monk she once loved. The aftermath of this tragic event was sorrow and shock among the villagers and temple monks. They later performed rituals to appease the spirits of both Kyohime and Anjin, hoping to restore peace to the area, disturbed by such violent passions. The bell reportedly melted from the heat of Kyohime's flames, was replaced, but the story continued to haunt the temple's legacy. As the centuries passed, the legend of Kyohime was retold and embellished in various forms, from the puppet theaters of Edo to the vibrant stages of Kabuki, where it evolved into a dramatic narrative of love and destruction. The tale was also captured in the artistic depictions by Toriyama Sekien, adding a visual testament to the enduring legacy of this powerful story. The legend of Kyohime serves not just as a cautionary tale about the dangers of uncontrolled emotions, but also as a poignant reminder of the human capacity for love and vengeance. It underscores the fine line between devotion and obsession, illustrating how the heart's fiery passions can lead to one's undoing. Today, visitors to Dojoji Temple can reflect on the complexities of human emotions and the transformative power of love and loss, as told through the tragic tale of Kyohime, forever etched into the cultural fabric of Japan.